I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. Always great to have you here for those moments when I decide to just stand in a room on my own and talk to a camera for a few minutes. In this video, I'm talking about Black Dragon, which is an excellent new release from Byron Parfums. Stay tuned. Byron are a French house and they exploded into the fragrance community a couple of years ago with 3 releases, which were Point 9, Pirates and Mulla Mulla. All great releases. Mulla Mulla, I feel like, was the fragrance that really put them on the map. It gained a lot of hype, gained a lot of traction in the fragrance community. Everyone was posting about it, everyone was making videos. I think the reason for that is it was just such... well, it was a good fragrance. It was a bold fragrance. It was a unisex fragrance, so anyone could wear this. It was a really nicely constructed, smooth fragrance that just had this massive projection, and people loved that. And because of this big projection, people were getting compliments. So I really enjoyed it. I've used up my bottle of Mulla Mulla, or should I say my wife used up my bottle of Mulla Mulla, but she smelled great wearing it, so that's fine. I don't mind at all. I would say my favorite from Byron is the Chronic, which is a creamy sandalwood type scent, very sweet, just an absolute beaut. Love that fragrance. Talk about compliments. Now the Chronic is one that is gonna get you compliments. If that's your thing, not everybody's into compliments, but if you want a good fragrance that projects and may get you a little bit of attention, then the Chronic will be one of those fragrances that is very likely to do that. So Chronic being my favorite. My second favorite is the fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today, which is Black Dragon. This is part of Byron's Pirates collection, which I think now contains the first Pirates, the new release Pirates 2, which to me smells pretty similar to Pirates 1, and this one, Black Dragon. So the Pirates fragrances are big white floral fragrances. There's some pear in there as well, so there's some fruit, but in the heart, they've got these very potent indolic white floral accords. I don't mind that, I can wear that. I think some guys maybe feel that it's a little too feminine for them, a little too far onto the floral side, but again, they are beast projecting fragrances. So Black Dragon is different to the Pirates fragrances, very different in fact. Thank you to Byron for sending me this bottle. Let's start off by taking a look at the bottle and the notes. The notes in Black Dragon are honey, pineapple, mango, cigar, bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, amber and musk. I know, right? Those notes. You'd look at that note list and think that has to result in an amazing smelling fragrance. And it does, I'm happy to tell you. So the opening, you get sweetness mixed with fruits. The fruits obviously being the pineapple and the mango, the sweetness being the honey and the vanilla. And I wouldn't describe the fruits here as sparkling and fresh like you would find in a freshy type of fragrance. I would describe them as kind of a sweet, candid type of fruit, more so the fruit that you might find in a tin, you know, fresh fruit in a tin rather than freshly sliced fruit. So you do get the fruitiness, but it's not quite got that diffusiveness that fresh fruit accords can have. Imagine you've got your tin of mango and pineapple and you take it out the tin and you get a jar of honey and you just dribble that honey all over those fruits. Well, that is, for me, a good way of describing how this opening smells. Think of that, and you've also got this beautiful, sweet, light tobacco note in the background, and that's your opening. So it's a bright, sweet opening with a nice projection, but this, to me, is not as potent. It's not as big as, say, Mulla Mulla, Pirates, and even the Chronic. You are going to get a decent projection, but it's not going to fill a room in quite the same way that those fragrances do. But sometimes people find that much projection a little bit too much. You're going to get good projection with this, but it's not going to be filling a room. It's a little more subtle, it's a little more reined in. So the opening of Black Dragon is beautiful, it's smooth, it's refined, it's got lots of depth, and I would describe it as a very mass appealing opening. As it dries down into the mid, the fruity notes do fade into the background just a little bit, although they do remain in the fragrance throughout the whole time that you're wearing this. But this allows the tobacco and the vanilla to just come out to the forefront a little bit more, and then it's also smoothed out with some beautiful sandalwood. This is a very smooth fragrance. And I also get some spices going on in here, some sweet spices, maybe something like cinnamon. I'm not too sure about that, but it definitely has a nice little bit of spicy kick to it as well. And I would say it remains in this olfactory state for the rest of the time that you're wearing this fragrance. So you've got a little bit of transition from the opening into the mid, but kind of once you get to the mid, it doesn't seem to really develop that much beyond there. You've got the patchouli and the musk and the amber in the mid, and I wouldn't say that it really changes. I wouldn't say, oh yeah, the patchouli really comes out. I think the patchouli is always there, it's just in a supporting note. So once you get to the mid, that's kind of it in terms of development. It's in the same style of fragrance as Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille and Phaidon's Tobacco Rouge, in that you've got that sweetness with the tobacco. It's not as loud as Tobacco Vanille, and it's definitely fruitier than both the Tom Ford and the Phaidon. But in terms of how it behaves, in terms of its performance, I would say pretty similar to Tobacco Rouge. So if you're familiar with how that one performs, then that will give you some idea as to how Black Dragon performs. I have to talk about the tobacco. I love the note of tobacco. I love most fragrances that contain tobacco. So what do I think about it in this? Well, when I saw the notes, and it doesn't actually say tobacco, it says cigar, I thought it was going to be a little more resinous, a little smokier, maybe a little bit of an ashy type of vibe to the tobacco accord in here, but I don't really get that. It's definitely not a heavy or smoky tobacco. It's a very sweet and light tobacco. I'd say it's more like what you get from tobacco leaf rather than perhaps a more richer, deeper, resinous type of tobacco, but it still is very lovely. If I'm being honest, I would say I would have liked the tobacco note to have been pushed a little bit more here. I would have liked it to have been a little darker, a little smokier, just to give the fragrance a bit more punch, a bit more attitude, and a bit more backbone. But as it is, it's very lovely, and I'm just being picky. Now, I'm probably completely buying into this whole pirate imagery that you get when a fragrance is called Black Dragon, but it makes me think of an old pirate ship down in the hull where they're storing all their supplies. They've got some preserved fruits and honey, and there's booze in there as well, and you get the woodiness from all the wood of the ship, you know, the wood in the hold. Now, I mentioned booze. It's not really a boozy smelling fragrance. I just have that image of pirates would have booze on a ship, wouldn't they? So I just have that in my mind. Although, having said that, if I am going to be a little bit picky, again, I'm being picky Chris, aren't I, today? A little nip of cognac wouldn't have gone amiss in this. I think it would have worked nicely. I mean, basically, I'm saying I wanted it to smell like Enigma, aren't I? And obviously, every fragrance cannot smell like Enigma, so yeah, that's just me. Nevertheless, I still enjoy giving myself over to this pirate-related imagery whilst I'm wearing this, because it kind of just makes it fun. Okay, let's do the FRAG-MENTAL. In terms of performance, I get decent projection. I think it's not a massive projection, but it's giving you a nice little bit of projection for around 2 to 3 hours, and then it lasts a long time, especially if you get it on clothes a little bit as well. I was getting around 8 to 10 hours longevity. It's definitely a unisex fragrance. I think it would smell really masculine on a guy, and I think it could smell great on a woman as well. I think that sweetness and the vanilla really works. My wife really enjoys this as well, both when I wear it and when she wears it. In terms of occasions, you know what, it's quite versatile. You perhaps wouldn't think so looking at the note breakdown, but I feel like the fruits in here allow it to work fairly well in warmer weather. And also, as I said, the tobacco isn't too heavy, so it's not too rich and too heavy to wear on warmer days. But I think also it works really well on colder days as well. So versatile, I think, to pretty much wear all year round, certainly for my tastes, and certainly here with the climate we have in the UK. In terms of when to wear it, I would say this, I mean, you could wear this anytime, but I think it would, for me, work really well as a date scent. I think it would be an awesome date scent. You could wear this as a formal occasion scent or an evening scent. I think it would work really well as a clubbing scent as well. So when you invest in this fragrance, this is one of those that you going to be able to wear on a lot of occasions, I think. So you're going to get great value for the investment into this. Let's talk about what that investment would cost you if you were to buy it. It's niche, it's luxury, it's not cheap, so you'll be paying on Byron's website €150, and that is for 50 ml of this. You can also pick this up in the US on Crystal Fragrance and Door Perfumes. In the UK, you can buy this on sexiest.com. I will leave a link to their website in the description. Currently, they're sold out of Black Dragon. They don't have any. I think it just sold out really quickly as soon as it got on there. I believe that they will be getting some more maybe as we get into September, so keep checking on their site. But they do have my favourite. They have the Chronic currently available on there, which I think is £120 for the 50 ml. So go and check out that website and see if there's anything from Byron that you like on there, because I know that if you're in the UK, unless you buy directly from Byron's French website, it's a little difficult to get hold of them. So great, we have a website that is now supplying Byron perfumes for the UK audience. Okay, so to sum up, I love this stuff. I would say it's my second favourite after the Chronic. It's like a fruitier Tobacco Vanille and Faden's Tabac Rouge. I'm just gonna have a little spray of this just so you can see the distribution on the atomizer. It's a fantastic quality atomizer. It's one of those that you can modulate how much comes out. Here we go. Wow, I mean, that is a wide distribution. Great atomizer on that. So I'm getting that fruitiness, I'm getting the smooth, high quality blend, and you know what? I think this is a very mass appealing fragrance. All right, so there are my thoughts on Byron's Black Dragon. There's a couple more to talk about down the line. We've got Muller Muller Rouge Extreme and Pirates 2, so I will be talking about those. Do let me know if you're interested in hearing my opinions on those fragrances, and if you are, then I will make the videos. If you've tried this one, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's been selling out, so I think quite a few of you out there must own this and must have smelled it, so please do let me know what you think about this in the comments. And do you get the slight comparison to the Tabac Rouge and Tobacco Vanille? Just interested, could just be me, but I'd love to hear if anyone else has the same experiences as me. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Thank you so much for watching. It is always massively appreciated. Remember, keep tuning into FM, keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next video.